And it's the moss, sitting in the basement like a boss, talking about the fact we don't have jobs. No?
Yeah.
Watching porno with Steve Jobs.
No.
At least dead.
Politically incorrect.
I feel like Steve Jobs didn't really watch porno. And if he did, he probably watched it on his iPhone.
Maybe we can make an application. Disney porno.
Disney porno?
Disney porn.
I think that exists already.
They must start with some things like
Pornhub kids.
fantasy.
Pornhub kids. It's fucked because what's gonna happen is they're gonna start saying like, well, we already know that teenagers are watching pornography and this needs to
Camera
stop.
is...
Yeah,
Ça marche?
I know. No, it's on. It's fine.
Okay.
So this is obviously working wonders for his career. All of our careers right now, per this conversation.
Like, I've read articles that say, okay, pornography is ruining lives because teenagers have these unrealistic expectations or sort of twisted or demented fantasies because of pornography. So then it's like, what is the solution? And some idiot will say, well, we can't stop kids from watching porn. What if we make like a porn for kids? You know? and someone, because there's an internal logic to that almost sounds like a good policy.
Right.
Where it's like, okay, yeah, you're right. That way they're not subjected to that adult stuff, but they can still learn about sex. It's totally fucked. When was the last time you were watching porn for kids, Yassine?
I think so.
You know, you
My
better
first
off
time.
not answering this question. Don't incriminate yourself, buddy.
Okay, so I'm here today. I got two lovely special guests. I guess they're not that special. I saw them yesterday. So it's, you know, like if they were special, they just show up once.
I'm not special guy.
So this is Yassine. Say, introduce yourself.
Yassine, like he say, I can explain in French.
Yeah, but speak loudly and in English.
In English?
It's an English
Sure.
podcast, yeah.
Maybe Spanish is good.
No, because then I gotta do
English.
subtitles.
Okay, I'm Yassine. I'm the drummers of this guy.
Can you speak louder, please?
I'm the drummers.
Yeah, okay.
Is it good?
No, keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make sure the levels are right.
I'm the drummers of Mark Norman Harris to the band with bassist and saxophone, and I'm like how you say a second.
Alright, that's Yassine. Okay, and to my right, the actual comedian, he called in sick today, so we got this guy after band practice. Introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Malik Conard Sow. Mark is a very dear friend of mine and also sometime collaborator. I am a filmmaker from New York City. Je suis américain, réalisateur, New York City. Yeah, here in France, learning the French language and making very good friends.
Cool.
So.
Thanks for being here. You see the difference? You see how you
Wow.
just said, hi, my name's Malik Conard Sow. Kunal?
Yeah.
His middle name's Kunal.
Very
Wow.
embarrassing middle
I'm-
name.
Yeah. Conard Sow. It's Sow or Sow?
No, it's Malik Conard Sow. So it has a different
Malik Conard Sow.
sound to
Right.
it, but if you just put another N there, it
Right.
sounds very much like a very dirty word in French.
Because he really likes
It's
his
asshole, I
name.
believe.
The
Yeah.
reason for why he can introduce.
Hey man,
Yeah,
my
he
mother
likes
gave
his
it to me. It says that's what I'm sticking with.
So, you've come here to study French,
Yes, sir.
and we met at an English open mic.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why is it that you're trying to learn French?
I'm going to Senegal in November to shoot a documentary called The Cradle. I'm actually of Senegalese descent. I'm going to be documenting my father's village, among other things, in the country. And it's a French-speaking African nation, so...
Where is Senegal for the people like me and at home that don't know?
It is a West African country. It's basically right near Ghana and Mali. It's a tiny, tiny, tiny little country that's like on the western sort of hemisphere of the African continent, just at the edge.
Okay. Yassine, so you're a
Yeah.
you're a skateboarder and you like flirting with Norwegian women or sort of Scandinavian girls. That's your thing.
Scandinavian. Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, I think it's not my passion. Like
Why?
Scandinavian girl.
Why are you
I like
interested?
manga before.
Oh, you like manga?
Yeah, but you
But
don't know that. You just think I'm skateboarder, like blonde Swedish.
Right.
Swedish, like sandwich.
Yeah, I thought you
Not
liked
sandwich.
Swedish girls,
Not sandwich.
but actually you like manga girls.
Manga
Is it-
girls, no. It's you come back about my porno fantasy.
No, we're not talking about-
Ah,
We're not talking about porno. We're talking about
I like
So-
this note. This note is my
every
inspiration.
couple weeks. Yassine, he calls me. He's like, "Hey, I met this one Swedish girl. She's very Swedish, and you know she wants to fuck with me. Maybe." I say, "Hey, come back. We can fuck together." And then she says, "Oh no, shit, man! I take a taxi."
Oh, you are a humorist, no?
No, it's a true story, yeah. And I think fucks. I try to call her. She says, "No, maybe I goes back."
Forget the
Sweden."
rain.
Oh, it was raining. It is a true story. So he tried to. She was Danish from Denmark.
Danish. Yeah.
I can say only one thing in Norwegian. It says "Jeg er dansk," and that means I am Danish.
You gotta get it. Järgdans?
Jeg er dansk.
Järgdans.
So if I go to Norway, I can tell people in Norway that I'm Danish.
Mhm.
It's totally useless. So we had big people planned for today. We had a musician. I forget this guy's name. It's not really important. It's like something called like Beautiful Human or something. And I said, I reached out to people on the internet looking for musical guests, and he said, "Hey, I don't have a pass Navigo. I don't have a bus pass, and it might cost me like $10 to come onto your basement podcast and promote my music.
Right.
Do you think I could maybe you could? I hate to talk money, but do you think we could work out some deal?" And I was like, "What? He's trying to hose me for $10? Like, I don't have anyway." So I told him
It's like the subway fare going there and back, like, or something.
yeah, that he wanted me to pay the fare, and I told him like, yeah, I guess I could pay it, but because I waited a day and I was hesitant, instead of being like, absolutely, it'd be such a pleasure to have you on. I'll shoot you $20 so you can get a sandwich too. I don't have $20, but I could if you join up with the Patreon. But then he was like, "Oh yeah, sorry, it's not gonna work for me. Hope you find someone." And then this other guy, who's more likely to come on the show again, so I won't really trash talk him. This guy from Montreal, Zach, sends me a message at 12 with this photo of his selfie with this black eye, being like, "Yeah, I got in an accident." You ever been in an accident when you get a single black eye?
No, sure, that could happen. Maybe he hit the dashboard or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Well,
maybe
not the wheel.
I don't
like,
think
yeah.
he drives. Maybe he drives, but he bailed. So at first I replaced the musician with you because you're a director from New York City, and that's cool in Paris, right? If I tell you I'm
Really
hanging out with this New York City movie guy,
Really cool.
yeah.
And then they're very disappointed when they meet me.
Oh, he's just like a normal dude.
He's just like some guy.
Why
New
don't-
York City make the difference.
Here,
No?
try these glasses on
But why?
and this hat,
Oh yeah, now I look like a proper kind of bohemian.
and now it's like, yo, this guy's a
Not-
fucking New York City director.
Yeah, but now he's class and I like mushrooms.
Do you want the poncho? I just wear the poncho to hide my ever-growing stomach.
Yeah, but I have a question. Why you like every time have some things like special? You
I'm trying to
you
put
can
this
make
idea.
podcast just with t-shirts.
I know, but I'm trying to give this feel that like we're really casual.
Ah,
Like, yeah, it's not even a podcast. It's just like people hanging out.
Yeah, exactly. The way it should be.
So today we're going to be talking about incels, involuntary celibate people, and I'd like to welcome. We have a special incel guest.
really special.
So please, guys, let's make some noise for everyone's favorite incel. Come on. All right, he's not an incel.
Ed Sheeran, bassist.
Ed Sheeran on bass. John, can you come over and join the couch?
Lean to the right and
In America, they have this problem where people keep killing each other with assault rifles.
Yep.
And they've been trying to figure out what the problem is. Like, why is it that all these people keep killing people with assault rifles?
Yep.
And one of these reasons that they figured out is it's like white dudes that aren't really good at attracting girls. that then kill people with assault rifles. So they've been looking at how is it that they can deal with the problem of white dudes that feel disenfranchised and then shoot people with assault rifles. So they're trying to figure out, maybe the problem is that these people haven't found meaningful relationships and not that they have assault rifles. Because we had a guy in Toronto, Alec Manassian, who was, I think, part of the incel uprising. He didn't have an assault rifle, but he had a rental van, which is probably scarier because I know, like, when I see an assault rifle, I generally know I should get it away from it. But when I see a rental van, I typically don't think anything about it. It's like, oh, someone's moving, delivering packages. Or the last thing I think is they're gonna ride up onto the sidewalk and drive down everyone. What is your take? One thing I like
That's
to
the
do,
token American.
yeah, it's
here.
a token American. It's like we were gonna have this Jewish guy Zach on the show and make him defend the existence of Israel. You know,
Oh my
like,
God.
oh, you win on birthright. Now
glad
you
I did
have
not
to.
come that way.
You know, but instead, we're gonna make you have to defend the Iraq War and gun violence.
Well, for me, let's look at all of what we have in place right now. Yes, there is an amendment that says that you have the right to bear arms, but this opens up the debate of, like, what are arms in the 21st century, you know, you know, it's just like should we have certain restrictions on them? And then also, the NRA are, you know, very steadfast to be about, like, their rights to own these weapons and their knowledge of the Second Amendment. And if you love this amendment, you would see right there that it says well-regulated militia. You know, so if you really do care about the Second Amendment, NRA, I don't know, maybe you should read the second line and not, you know, one that, you know.
Would you join a militia?
Would
if
I?
It was well regulated.
Well, as of right now, I don't really have the time to organize that type of operation. I mean, but, like, we're living in very turbulent times in our country, and this president has very neo-fascist tendencies, and, you know, I think that the reason why they put that amendment in there was to stop tyrannical government if it ever did start. I'm just saying that, look, I'm not even saying take them away, but we need to keep them out of the hands of crazy incel people. Let's at least have that conversation.
But now, Jean, as a crazy incel, do you think that if you had an assault rifle, you would shoot up your school?
Well, I'm
like-
not in school anymore, so I can't.
Oh, you're in university.
But
But it's a music faculty, so I guess, like, there's many kindred spirits.
I think I would shoot my university even if I wasn't a crazy incel.
I think we gotta. Can you preface that?
This is a joke.
Interview the president of the United States if he wanted to come on the show.
Yeah.
You would?
But it'd be such a fucking hassle. There'd be, like, security guards, the street would be blocked, they'd frisk me, you know?
Also, he's just impossible to talk to, too. Like, he doesn't answer questions either. Like,
Right. Yeah. So tell me, what would he say? Like, what would he say if he was in the
Next
space
question.
movie? Next question.
Next question.
I probably know the most about
Next
Viltennes out of any president that's ever come to Saint-Denis. It's a fine community, but it's got a lot of problems. Got a lot of bad people.
A lot of bad hombres over
Lot
here.
of-
We don't know where they're coming from.
Honestly,
Golf club.
he's probably better.
Church body.
Probably better. This is a hot take. Than the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau's like, this woman gets up. Maybe one thing we need to think about with empowering women is that through families and love, we can really empower all of mankind. I'm sorry, it's people kind.
Yeah.
And he's this guy, he like hugs refugees and be like, welcome to Canada. I'm so happy you're here. And then signs off like, and weapons to Saudi Arabia. Like, he's
Such a double standard.
He's a guy that can show up at a native reserve and then just cry and be like, I'm sorry on behalf of the Canadian government. I'm sorry that we have to build this pipeline for your freshwater reserve. It really upsets me. And he just plays this identity politics shit. He's slick. He's slick, but he's a cuck. Anyway, can you tell us a bit more about the project you've been working on? Like,
Well, we want to do a larger piece called The Cradle, which, like, Senegal would be the first episode, but we want to do a larger piece that goes to each and every African country as a documentary series.
every African country.
As many as we can. I
Right.
mean, we've run into certain problems, with our own government not wanting us to go to certain places,
Right.
that are too
Sudan or
dangerous.
something.
Yeah, Somalia, obviously.
Right.
But we want to make each episode its own country, basically, with its own personality, and really look at the
Sorry, continue.
really look at the exports that have spread themselves throughout the world that have come from Africa. I mean, like, look at American rock and roll is arguably a African import. And then like
Why is American rock and roll arguably an African import?
well, I mean, it came from essentially slave music. The
Okay.
blues transferred into rock and roll, and I think that it's almost a crime that, like, I got no problem with Elvis. I got no problem with Elvis. I think he's really talented, but, like, he's certainly not the king of rock and roll. The king of rock and roll is still very much alive. His name is Little Richard.
Yeah.
And even so, like, there's been a lot of, like, other great rock stars being, called these innovators, when really it was black musicians that took this music from Africa and it translated into another form of, music that was Check me out on Facebook and Instagram, Malik Conard Sow. There'll be a trailer out for a film that I'm releasing back in the States in October called Out There. Check it out at outthere.facebookpage.com.
You see,
I've got steak, I've got chicken, I've got lobster, now I'm shrimping. Got that pork, got that lamb, got that fish fresh from Japan. Steak, I've got chicken, I've got lobster, now I'm shrimping. Got that pork, got that lamb, I've been eating. How about you, fam? Man, wanna eat, get hungry. Open the fridge, got nothing. Maybe a bit of mustard and some mayo. Maybe I could whip up something. Every damn day eating pasta. Every damn day on the grind. Every damn day going hungry. But in the fridge in my mind, I got steak, I got chicken, I got lobster, now I'm tripping. Got that pork, got that lamb, got that fish fresh from Japan. Steak, I got chicken, I got lobster, now I'm tripping. Got that pork, got that lamb, got that fish fresh from Japan. Cut it.
Yeah, cut it. I say cut it. I say cut it.
Now by foie gras, you girls a hoe. I eat that pussy like an escargot. Now in French, motherfucker, add it up.
I got steak, I got chicken, I got lobster, now I'm shrimping. Got that pork, got that lamb, got that fish fresh from Japan. I got steak, I got chicken, I got lobster, now I'm shrimping. Got that pork, got that lamb, I've been eating. How about you, fam? I've been eating. How about you, fam? Open the fridge in my mind.
Fuck me, that's so.
I've been eating. How about you, fam? Shrimping.
And you know bitches, but they love the flow. I don't give a fuck if they sloppy joes. I eat that pussy like an escargot. Eat that pussy like an escargot. What?
I got chicken. I got
They eat
lobster,
that pussy
now
like
I'm
an
shrimping.
escargot.
Got that pork, got that lamb. I've been eating. How about you, fam?
You feel me, bro? Eat foie gras. Every damn day, slice of rice and raw.
How about you, fam? Tucks it back. Don Valley, go fuck the rap. Sit on back, you in the basement. Wish my grandma had to go and get a facey. Fuck. Get back to the basics. Every damn day, eating Subway. What? Every damn day, running KFC. Everybody says obesity. Oh, no, no. I don't buy it. Vegan, I don't try it. Keep meat. I eat meat. I eat meat. I past it for long, not much longer, I promise you that. So wait till you see what's coming. Cut.